So for those other 8 people, are you telling me that they are actually happy in their miserable lives, where they hate their jobs and they actually want to change it? No, they're not happy, but they don't want it that badly. They prefer their current pain to whatever pain they've imagined they have to go through to get this other job. And that's the thing with change, or the thing with taking any kind of massive action, or staying focused. At some point, if you're someone who is motivated by pain, the pain of where you are needs to become greater than the pain that you associate with getting to where you want to go for you to finally take action. For some people, they are not motivated by pain. They are motivated by positive outlook. And so they will say, oh my gosh, my life could be XYZ. Like, I can work remote. I can earn this much. And that right there is their own motivation. What is your motivation? What is going to make you stick to something and finally follow it through, no matter how tough the going gets? How bad do you want it? A lot of times when we don't take action and we are stuck, or we act like we don't want it badly enough, it's because we fear 3 types of pain. Loss pain. You're afraid of what you might lose, the friends you might lose, the time you might lose, the money you might lose, because you're doing that thing. Or in the short term, let's say you have a fun vacation coming up and you have to sacrifice one of those days for an interview or something. I don't know. I'm just making this up. The loss of that day that you've planned, you've imagined it in your head and all of that, the loss of that. What if you turn it around and you're like, what else? What could I actually gain if I did this? What is the positive outcome here? What is the upside of doing this? In the case of those 8 people I talked about, if they had changed their minds to, oh my goodness, like, what if I actually got this job? What is the upside of this? What do I stand to gain? Oh, a lot. Number 2, process pain. You're thinking about how painful the process of change is going to be. Or in the case of those 8 people, the process of studying for those tests and sitting down through those painful tests. You're thinking of that short-term thing. And it's all short-term thinking. You're not thinking long-term. If you're thinking of the long-term benefits, then those will far outweigh the short-term costs. In anything that you're going to do in this life, there will be the tough parts. It's up to you to bring joy into the joyless things. And that's what high performance is about. That is what I am about. That is what I help my clients with. Just helping them to stick to it. It's changing that narrative in your head. The process doesn't need to be it might not even be as painful as you think, but how would you know unless you tried? You could try it and you could bring your own type of fun into it. You could make it easier on yourself. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has been doing it. If there is a better way to do it, right? And if it's something that, again, when you go back to the very first one, if you're thinking about the upside, what could you gain? Then maybe you might not mind going through that process after all. The third pain is outcome pain. And this one is very popular, or very common, I should say. A lot of times people are thinking, what if it all goes wrong? What if I look stupid in front of everybody? What if I make a fool of myself? What if someone comes and calls me out and basically challenges what I say, and they actually have data to prove it, and then I look dumb? What if I am wrong? What if this all just goes to nothing and it all comes crashing down on me? What if we start catastrophizing in our minds? But what if it went well? What if you succeeded? What if you learned something about yourself in the process? What if anything we want to do, if you're going to be successful and you're going to follow through, it comes down to changing the meaning we attach to things. If you're really serious and you want it that badly, then you will need to change how you think about what you might gain, what the process will be like, and what the outcome could be like. So I'm going to ask you this again. How bad do you want it? Sometimes we are so easy to just drop the sword. Well, not drop the sword, but throw in the towel. We are so quick to give in and give up. Why? I guess you don't want it that badly. Let me give you examples. Oh, my head hurts. You know what? I'm just going to rest my head for the rest of the day. I'll pick this back up tomorrow. Please, I've really had quite the week. I know I didn't do anything towards that particular goal to advance that big goal of my life, but man, life is for the living. YOLO, man. I'm just going to rest this weekend. Netflix and chill. Let me get a drink. I need a drink in my system. Let me go hang out. Let me order takeout. Open up Uber Eats app. Let me see where we're hanging out this weekend with my friends. I'll pick this thing back up next week or next month. Or if it's November, you know what? That'll be my New Year's resolution. You don't want it that badly. In fact, this is how you know that you want something badly. Let's say you change your mind about, I'm going to use this weight loss one because it's such a common one, right? Or some kind of health and fitness goal. And you're like, you know what? Going forward, I'm going to start taking my workouts more seriously. I'm going to be more consistent with taking walks outside. Let's do with that one. Walks. Everyone can walk. Well, if you can walk, you can walk. You know what I mean? So I want to start doing more steps every day. Okay, but today is Tuesday. Okay, I'll start on Monday. Why? Why not start on Tuesday? Or latest Wednesday, maybe because it's Tuesday evening. What's wrong with starting immediately? When you want to start immediately, that's when you know that, okay, this change is coming from a place of conviction versus from a place of just forcing it. You're just forcing the issue. You haven't tied it to why you really want it and to how badly you want it. I hope this is making sense for you, or it makes sense to me. Maybe I'm just talking to myself today. But sometimes I have to ask myself, okay, Kepo, how bad do you want it? Oh, you have cramps. Oh, poor you. Get a hot water bottle. Put it on your tummy. Maybe change how you're sitting. Sit on the couch instead of on this chair. Get comfortable. But keep going. I've not eaten all day. I'm so tired. You know what? I'll do it tomorrow. How bad do you want it? I'll do it next week. Why? Even for me, when I'm networking with my contacts, like, hey, I'm offering this free strategy session. I'm offering this kind of high performance coaching. I help former management consultants or professionals that feel burnt out or feel stuck in their current jobs and they don't really know what to do next with themselves. And I help them gain clarity and alignment and make decisions. If I keep procrastinating on that, on telling people about that and asking them, hey, do you know anyone who might need this? Do you know anyone who might need this? Or does it sound like you?